How low can you go? Yeah. Bap, 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 bap. Bap, 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 bap. Yeah, buddy.
Alright, this is about my Top Solar brand solar controller, charge controller, and I was trying to find out how to work this thing besides the very sparse instructions that they give you in this little booklet here. And a lot of the charge controllers online look very similar, but they're different enough to where it didn't match up with this charge controller. But anyway, the problem I was having was that I had set it at 14 volts and it was showing 12.9. So I think this is supposed to be menu, but it says mun. But I was trying to set the float at 14. So this is how you set the float. You go mun, you hit enter, and right, it flashes, and you notice that it was at 13.5. Well, I had set it at 13, but for some reason it went back to 13.5. So this charge controller is kind of goofing off, goofing up, goofing up. And then also what happened was when I had it set at 14, it actually charged the batteries all the way up to 16, which is no bueno because I've just got lead acid batteries. So I took it down to 13, and then now it went back to 13.5. I'm not sure what's going on. It could be because I've got it flat up against the board here, but that's just the way it's made. So anyway, I'm going to do two things. I wrote Top Solar back where I bought this whole system. I bought the solar panel. It comes with really good wires and this charge controller, and all I needed was just to run my motion lights outside and to run these little LEDs here for task lighting, and they were awesome. They said, yep, we'll send you another charge controller. So I'm going to install the new charge controller they sent me, and I'm also going to put spacers behind it because it's got a heat sink in the back. It feels plastic. It says it's aluminum, but it feels plastic. I might scrape a little bit to see if it's plastic or aluminum. It kind of looks like aluminum, but it feels like plastic. Anyway, so I'm going to put spacers behind it. Just, I think this is like 3/2 inch copper tubing. So it's going to set like that. I'm going to put, just to get some airflow behind it, and then put longer screws back in the board there. So I'm going to set the camera down and let you see. Alright, first you want to take the panel off first. You want to disconnect the battery last, and then of course when you hook it back up, you do it in reverse order. You hook the battery up first and then the solar last. So I'm going to take the solar out, and then we'll go ahead and hit enter and take it off the load. Not that it matters. There we go. So solar's gone. Plus, minus, and the load goes to my task lighting LEDs. Just like so. So she's all disconnected. Alright. Old charge controller off. Yeah, so the old one here, the plastic's kind of scraped up in front, and the new one, and plus the new one's not hot. So I just got the spacer stuck to my finger. So that's how I'm holding it in there. There we go. Alright, I got both spacers back in there. So now I'm going to hook up my load. Well, I guess I can hook up the battery first. Yeah, so let's hook up the battery. There we go. And she's reporting 12.9. Can't see that, but I'll bring the camera around. There we go. Turn the load on, check the lights. I have lights. So hit the Mune button. Default 13.7, that's the float. That's where it disconnects the load if it gets below 12.6. And no, I'm sorry, that's okay. That's where it stops charging. I can't remember. But 13.7, 12.6, and 10.7. I think that's when it drops off the load. 12.6. I have to look at what that means. But anyway, those are the defaults. So let me check it with the multimeter, see if it's accurate. Alright, so it's reading 12.9, and if I can get the multimeter to read, it's 12.9. So far so good. 12.9, 12.9. So I'm going to leave it a default float at 13.7, and hopefully that'll fix it. Alright, got the solar panel hooked up. The panel is charging from this arrow indicator here, so I'm going to read compare the actual readout with my multimeter here. So it's showing 13, so battery shows 13, that's good. Solar is coming in at 13.1, so that means it is charging. And when I push the Mune, it's gonna float at 13.7. Recovery is at 12.6. I'm not quite sure what that means. Probably when it goes into float, it won't kick back on till it hits 12.6. Then it takes it up to 13.7. 10.7 is where it cuts off the output to the load. So yeah, everything looks like it's working. So that's it for now. But good job for Top Solar for sending me a new charge controller. So hopefully with me moving away and putting spacer behind the board, that maybe that'll alleviate some of the goofy charging voltages. That's all I got. Later.